I would like to tell you today about a few things regarding social gaming. My name is Ziemowit Poniewierski. I represent Can't Stop Games. We are leading social games developer in Poland. Around 40 employees. We operate since 2008, and we deal in social and mobile games. Free release products, free in production, free will be released this year. I am COO of the company with 13 years of experience in games industry, and this is important in the light of this presentation because my experience comes from console games, and I had several years of working in this industry, and then I switched to online games, to browser games, and to social games. The title of this presentation is Breaking Old Rules, Social Games Company Codex. And why this title? I have been asked many times what does it take to run a social games developing company. And well, it usually my answers were taken with bits of surprise. It really surprised people what a social games company looks like. So today I would like to tell you or answer a question: what is the difference between social and console games development companies, and if there is a difference, and if so, what the difference are? Well, we know a lot of this social games market. Probably you know all the facts that you see here. Of course, many users, of course, a lot of them play daily. Mainly, this is an United States market, but it also grows to other markets. And some of those people pay. Some of those people pay a lot, and Facebook gets a big share of this money. These are commonly known facts. Also, several things got attention of entire industry, like Playfish, Playdom, and PopCap acquisitions for considerably big money. Really, this money is compared to mainstream companies like BioWare. These numbers are huge. But when we focus on what we know of social games companies per se, really there is very little knowledge. Of course, of a market we know a lot. Of companies, on who is behind this market, on who creates this game and how they create this game, we know very little. Mostly myths. Mostly myths like production of these games is very cheap. Technology is unimportant. You can do it on everything. Actually, anybody can do it because these are not games, but some playthings. Mindless cloning is what dominates on this market, and marketing is free. You can sell it actually to anybody, and it will sell itself because of viral. Of course, none of these things are true or are not true anymore. A few years ago, maybe some of them can be held. Right now, it's over. So, if you really want to deal in this market, if you really want to do something on this market and take a leading position, your company has to look like a typical company from gaming market. Actually, there are no differences. The basics of both types of companies are equally the same. The similarities are in quality of talent. You need equally the same number of people and equally the same quality of talent to acquire to a company. You have to possess great creative skills. Of course, management for these teams is equally important. Of course, technology, and this is less known, but technology in this area is extremely important because of money, because of saving money and how much you can save when you use proper technology and you use it properly. There is also a matter of investment in such a company, and there is also how much money you can earn on social games. In both cases, it's very comparable to what happens in the main industry. So, these were the similarities, but there are also, on top of it, there are also differences. And these differences are substantial. I believe there are two differences that are important, and this is approach to product, which is completely different from a box games approach, and approach to client. We have, it's like on this, if we take a scale, we are on opposite sides, completely on opposite sides when it comes to product and the client compared to the main industry. Where these differences come from, and this is very simple. All those differences come from rules that rule the market, that it has to be obeyed if you want to be successful. And the market dictates what we are and what we do to be successful. So, old rules that are important or are substantial for companies that deal in box games are very simple, and they are well known. Business model is, of course, one-time purchase, so you sell the game and the game is sold, and well, you do nothing about it. Downloadable content is a new thing, but it's also kind of extension of the same model, one-time purchase. The second thing is how long is the development? It's 2-3 years at least. Of course, it's connected with big risk, big investment and big risk of many things has to be taken into consideration. Demand for high-tech products. Most of the products that are successful not only because they are great games in terms of gameplay, but because they use the high-tech technology. So people buy them to see what can be made with the consoles and with the PCs and so on. It defines also the user. Hardcore user in the meaning I mean it. It's a user who buys the game not only because of the product itself, but also it's a part of the culture, and it's also part of being at the top of technological side. So you have to see what is best, what is new, and what uses technology to the limit. So this is also what drives selling on this market. And of course, hype. Hype is something that is really important here. Without hype, you don't sell. That's why at the end, Old Rules company, box game company, is kind of celebrity, and they have to be. It's nothing wrong with it. They have to be visible. The games have to be visible. Blizzard is a perfect example. You buy products of Blizzard because it's Blizzard, and not because you want to play them. Of course, at the end, you say that you want to play them, but sometimes you just buy it, play for 1 hour or 2, and put it on the shelf. It doesn't really matter. You are happy. So this is followed by many behaviors, many things that really are important for this industry. Like I don't really care if somebody will be playing my game after they buy it, but at the moment of buying, they have to be happy. New rules. New rules are quite harsh. Business model is freemium. You just put your product on the market and hope that someone will pay it and play it, and then someone will also leave you some money. Strong competition, really. Competition is very heavy. It's uncomparable to what happened 2-3 years ago. Right now, there are great companies, great products, and it grows. And user is a non-gamer, which is, of course, there are players, but they are not gamers. They are not taking part in the culture. They don't care, really, if their game is utilizing this or that technology. It doesn't really matter. If the game is okay, they don't have to know why the game is okay. At the end, you cannot sell them something that you believe is funky because, well, you used technology that nobody used before. It doesn't really matter. Service is more important than product, and this is also a big shift. If you don't actually you forget about product. You keep in mind that you are producing a service and you will uphold it for years, and you start with a small part and then the rest follows. A number of platforms and portals. In typical situation, you have consoles, 2 or 3, and PC if you want. Right now, if you are in this market, I mean in freemium market, you have to consider a lot of portals, a lot of partners you will have to cooperate with, and it creates a lot of friction. And of course, expansion of mobile platforms. I will dwell on it several slides later, but this is extremely important shift. So, at the end, we social game companies, we're like secret service agencies. So we don't care if we are visible. Actually, it's better if we are not. What is important if we see people and if we understand what they are doing. And the more we know, the better we operate. So at the end, we create something, then we observe what people do with this, and then we adjust. And this adjustment, this constant adaptation to what people are doing is an essence of work of social game company. It's a big shift, really. So, how these new rules that I mentioned before exactly define what the social game company is or what happens in social game company. Freemium business model, meaning that you give your product or your service for free and you hope that someone will leave you money, is based on a few factors that define the entire model. It's like the first thing you have to keep in mind is that friction kills retention, and retention is something you really have to care for, because if you acquire a user, which is costly, then you have to keep him. You have to keep him for very long. And if there are obstacles, if you are creating obstacles in user interface, in gameplay, you are losing these people. But the opposite side of this equation is that this friction creates monetization. People want to go by shortcuts. They want to use. They want to grow the fastest way possible. So at the end, you monetize on this friction. So balance is extremely important. Lydia yesterday mentioned it in her presentation. I believe this is the essence of our business. And of course, you have to keep in mind that certain gameplays don't monetize. Even if people are very happy to play it for years, you won't get money on it. What is the effect for you as a company? The common knowledge is that game designers are not very important in this industry, in freemium market. I believe they are of most importance. But the designer is someone different. In box games market, designer is someone you look at and you admire because they are creative guys who have crazy ideas, and at the end, if you create something very different, very special, and nobody has seen it before or heard of it before, you get your applause, and the game probably sells. In social games industry, designers are more like scientists or architects. So it's not about being visible and not about being flashy. It's about constant balancing of those two factors that I mentioned before, friction and retention. And it's extremely important that you know that your people, your designers, understand human condition, human behaviors, human actions, what drive them, what is their motivation, and they plan accordingly for your game. It's less about being flashy, it's more about being systematic, and, well, it's about teamwork, as you can see here. Of course, this is a picture from different industry, but nobody is designing games on their own. And this is very true in social games companies. One designer is probably wrong, always, even if they are special or their minds are, well, above any other minds in the industry. It doesn't really matter. People have to cooperate in this industry. Second thing, strong competition. It's very true right now. 2 years ago, you could sell anything on this market. Right now, well, there are thousands of games equally accessible. They are for free. You can access them within seconds. The production values are very huge, and, well, you keep always in mind that whatever you think, whatever you invent, whatever new technology you use, or whatever smart thing you use to monetize, you will be cloned at least in 2 months. So at the end, the quality that is necessary here, the quality of your art team, of your the entire creative team and the entire artworks has to be very heavy, and I mean, you have to have the best people on the market. However, they have to understand that they are not creating art, but that they are creating something that people will use. And you don't have to shock people. Actually, people don't want to be shocked on this market. They want to have very good quality, but something that they understand, and something that is quite common for them. So again, your art team, your whoever you hire, you have to keep in mind that there are certain people that cannot work in this industry. New audience. Hardcore gamer has been defined many years ago, and we know a lot about what they like and how much they care for technology and novelty. Right now, our user in FREEMIUM model, they are non-gamers. In most cases, they don't feel like they are playing. I mean, they believe that they spend good time, but this is not playing. And it's also important to keep in mind that your players are non-gamers. So all tricks don't work. If you come to this industry and try to use your know-how that you acquired from other industry, well, you will be surprised. And sometimes it really works against you. So as an example, most of the modern games, like, well, Modern Warfare, for example, are about excitement, about special moments that really you will remember them. In this market, in social games market, mostly you care about routine. And routine means your people will be doing the same thing over and over again for months or years. and they will be happy with it. Maybe not very excited, but they will feel like they are doing something that really pleases them. Service over product. Of course, the most important thing is not creativity in this market, but it was visible on the earlier slides. Right now, I stated directly, creativity in the old ways of meaning is not as important as stability of your service. So you have to be 24 hours a day online with great service that works perfectly. And this is more important than anything. You start with product, but 80%, and this is actually true, 80% of your expenses will be necessary after you release the product. And people will demand it, and people will be very unhappy if you don't do it. So you will have to take care for them, and you will have to take care for the community. And this is also very important. Communities pay. If people are engaged in your product, in your service, then they will pay. So what it means for a company, it means that there have to be a team that takes care for stability. And well, this is a screen from our monitoring tools. It's monitoring everything from every processor that we have, every chip that we have in our infrastructure, to what happens to particular parts of the service, to what happens to people, how many are online, and different stuff that really has to be measured online 24 hours a day. The second thing is you have to have tools to manage communities and manage updates. And if you have many partners, this is extremely important to have people that understand what they do. So there is a huge team in the company that takes care for infrastructure, for safety of the service, and also for community. So they will be happy, and at the end they will pay. Behavior of the declaration. This is also a very important thing, probably the most well-known thing from this industry. So whatever people say, whatever your users say, you shouldn't take much care of it, really. The statistics say that they don't know what they like, or at least they cannot verbalize it. What you should take care for, what you should listen to, is what they do. And that's the reason why there is so big discrepancy between reviews of social games and actually the condition of those social games. Most successful social games have very mixed reviews. Actually, in old times, you would say they are not very successful because of what people speak about them. In this case, in our industry, it's completely untrue. So, analytics. And I cannot stress here, and I cannot say how much it is important, because words cannot say it. It's analytics is everything, really. Okay, you have to be creative, and you have to be creatively using them, this data. But at the end, without data, you are blind. And if you are blind and you are running service, well, it only leads to disaster. So analytics, team that is collecting data and team that is analyzing this data should be bigger than the team that is creating a game. Twice, at least. Platforms. This is also very important. In most cases, it's omitted when you are creating a team, and at the end, it also ends in disaster if you don't understand that you will be dealing with many platforms. And those platforms are really different. If you are running your business on Facebook and you're trying to move to Nasza Klasa or Noklastiki, it will take time, it will take a lot of effort, and also you will have to spend a lot of time connecting with people from the other side, from the portal. For one product, for one portal should be one guy who is responsible only for this. And in most cases, it's not sufficient. This estimation comes from experience, not only our. Well, you can make your life easier if you have proper tools. What you see here is a game center that we created for all our games. It helps us to uphold the game features if the portal don't support those features. Of course, Facebook has a lot of features that you can use for virality, for contact with your friends and so on. In social games, it's very important. However, not all social platforms do the same. So if they don't, and your game created for Facebook, for example, needs to be released on another platform, well, sometimes you will have to take care for those features yourself. So good tools and, of course, good team that is updating those tools and keep them live is also important. Several people at least. And mobile. Of course, mobile platforms are growing rapidly, and in several years, I believe PC and Mac and browser games will not be as much important as they are now. Everything will, or the most of the industry will move to mobiles. Actually, they have moved already. So you have to keep it in mind that also mobile is a great platform for gaming. What does it mean? Simultaneous multi-platform development is what you should care for. So your team has to be ready for it. Actually, you have to build a team that is creating games on social networks simultaneously with creating a game on mobile platforms. This is why you have to plan accordingly, but also you have to build a team accordingly. And you have to use proper tools. For now, very popular thing is Stage 3D, Unity, HTML5. This is what brings what people are talking about and what people are using. There is no leader yet, but I believe there will be. None of them will win. Probably they will be on the market for simultaneously. What I say is that you have to choose your technology and you have to be on every platform in the same time. For the future, very important will be platform independent synchronous games. That's what I said before, but it has to be stressed. You have to be open for different gameplays, for so-called global niche games. So these are games that are not for everybody, but when you think globally, there is enough people to keep your business, run your business. And of course, you have to be advanced in technology. Technology is very important in this business. It's not very visible because it's on the back-end side and you have to be optimized there. But people demand also quality from the front side, and three-dimensional graphics become standard. Of course, it's not the console market yet, but it will be in terms of graphics and assets in a few years. So at the end, a few conclusions. Social and mobile gaming is fastest growing branch in the industry. That's obvious. So if you are running a company that is operating on this market, not only you have to be professional today because it's crucial for survival, but you have to adapt to what's coming, and a lot of things is coming, especially big changes in big shift created by mobile platforms, and you have to adapt fast. Well, thank you very much. That's for today. That's all for today. I hope I brought to your attention several aspects connected with our industry, and also with how to run these companies that are successful on this industry. If you have any questions, probably after this this speech, somewhere in the lobby, I will be available. Thank you very much.